Oh, we already have a guest in our Abuja studio. Yes, that's Oyeniyi. Nigeria's 8th National Assembly will be winding down today with a valedictory session. In a few days, the 9th National Assembly will be in place, formally ushering a new legislative dispensation. To help us take stock of the accomplishments and mistakes of the outgoing assembly, we are now being joined from our Abuja studio by Akinloye Oyeniyi, a former parliamentary assistant and public affairs analyst. Oyeniyi, you are welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you very much also for accepting our invitation. Well, let's go straight to business. What's your assessment of the 8th National Assembly with Senator Bukola Saraki as chairman? There's been a lot of backslapping and excitement among members of that assembly. They say they've been far more productive than the 3 previous assemblies before theirs. But some Nigerians say no. What they are saying is not exactly true. It's not just about number of bills or resolutions or motions. What's your own assessment?
Thank you very much. There's no way you want to evaluate a parliament without first looking into laws that are being passed, resolutions, and reports and motions. There's no way their major work is just to make. That's why we call them lawmakers. Is to make law. Then oversight can now come, motions can now come, and reports and public petitions can now come. So when people are saying you cannot, not about the numbers of bills passed or be accepted to whatever, it's not correct. It's not correct. In the history of parliament in our nation, Nigeria, I think the 8th National Assembly has the highest bills, not just ordinary bills, not just just anyhow bills, critical bills being passed. Look at the PIGB, the Electoral Act, and the rest. So we can't be saying because they said they passed close about let's say about 300 or 300 plus bills. That it's not about that. What are other critical discussions, other critical debates that have taken place at the level of the National Assembly? We should be looking into see. But if we have to be looking at the National Assembly or our, let me say, parliaments, whether state or National Assembly, not from the angle of politics, that I belong to a social political party, I belong to a social political party. No, we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. We have to be looking at their overall, that's their general output and how their output, how their effectiveness, how can their performance enhance the development of the nation. But if you started looking at it from the PDP angle, APC angle, PPA angle, Labour Party angle, ZLP angle, then we are done for. We are done for.
Well, you've given the
Fourth
National
Assembly had how many bills passed? 65.
Yes, you've given them an emphatic pass mark on their legislative function. How would you assess their oversight function?
Oversight function. See, if you cannot be active in one particular section. There are a lot of areas in a parliament will work for any of your activities to be given pass mark. You work at the plenary, you work at the committee level, you work at your constituency office, and at the party caucus. Those are the 4 areas a parliamentarian we work. So if they have done enough on the area of passage of bill, automatically there are a lot of issues that need to generate into passage of bills. Bills are not just, you can't just sit down and write bills. You must, information must be sourced.
You must cite something must functions. It's not automatic at all. They're separate functions. And I wanted to ask you specifically, do you feel, as some do, that the 8th National Assembly sort of dropped the ball on their oversight function in reining in some executive decisions, such as the purchase by President Muhammadu Buhari of U.S. military equipment without recourse to the National Assembly, which is an impeachable offense?
Pardon? I can't get you very clear.
Oversight function, legislative function, constituency projects, those are separate functions of the National Assembly. Yes. So we need to look at them individually.
Yes.
I'm now asking you about the oversight function and asking you if you feel, as some do, that the 8th National Assembly dropped the ball regarding President Muhammadu Buhari's purchase without recourse to NAS of U.S. military equipment, which is an impeachable offense.
Yes, the Tucano jets and other weapons. You see, yes. You see, that's what I was talking about. That you cannot be good, you cannot be adjudged outstanding in a particular area. That there's no way once an assembly is adjudged to have performed in passage of bills, there are other areas, there are other things where they have performed that leading them to have generate and pass those bills, like the issue of the Tucano jet you are talking about. It wasn't appropriated for. It wasn't appropriated for. It was not appropriated for. But National Assembly said, okay, we didn't give you approval. How come? And the president said he gave an anticipatory of how much? Of how much? There are a lot. See, let me tell you, on the issue of oversight, it is not as if the National Assembly, the 8th Assembly does not want to they will have even performed more than this. Do you know, even during budget process, a lot of ministers will not even come to defend budget. They don't come. Some of us are involved in these processes. We are involved. Public hearing will be there. We see. They will invite, and Nigerians, and what Nigerians will be seeing or will be hearing is that National Assembly is sitting on the budget. They don't want to pass our budget. Are you defending the budget? Will National Assembly pass a budget that cannot be defended? You have to come and defend your budget. You have to come and some of them will even come out that the budget has been tampered with. Something like the last 2018 budget, President Buhari, when the ascension ceremony, the Senate President was there, the Speaker of the House of Representatives was there. He said he rated them low, that they added so. No, Assembly does not. They don't add anything to the budget. When executive will bring the budget, they will sit on the executive. They are not the one that will structure the budget. National Assembly will have to structure the budget. They have to structure. It is their work. It is not the Assembly. It is not the executive work. So when they do like that, whatever they put inside, if whatever you brought, it's not. You don't expect. You cannot bring 20 billion and they give you 20 billion. It's either to be higher than that. It to be lower than that, according to the yearnings of the people. They are the representative of their people. So on the issue of oversight, they will have performed even more than this if the executive had given them the opportunity to do that. But you know the relation between the current executive, the last executive, and the outgoing 8th Assembly was not that totally cordial. Not even cordial at all. So that was why, and one way or the other, we were able to, the nation gained from it. Because even, I was saying it on one of the TV stations, flagship station.
But before we took that break, you were defending the leadership of the National Assembly. And you referred to President Buhari having said that he rates both Senator Saraki and Speaker Dogara of the House of Reps very low. Low on patriotism, he said. And I guess he was referring to the frosty relationship between the executive and the legislature in the 8th Assembly. Now, if you were to rate anyone low or high, how will you do your rating? The executive or the legislature? One way or the other.
If I'm to rate the two of them, the two arms. Hello?
Yes, the two arms of government, yes.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I would say, see, my brother, the 8th Assembly, apart from the huge numbers of bills they have attended to and passed, do you know it was actually because of that, the President Buhari in history has even assented to more bills than other presidents because of what because the National Assembly passed those bills. Do you know there are a lot? If before you rate, you have to bring some things into table. Look at the PIGB. Look at Kama. Not too young to run. Today, go and look at the majority of House of Assembly members in Zamfara. They are young people. We have a young person who has become a member of National Assembly here, House of Rep. We have a young person who has become the member of Ondo State House of Assembly. You understand me now? Look at the Electoral Act that was amended. So these are the critical issues you have to look into. And this is the assembly that even their first assignment that they worked on, zero-based budget, and no assembly has ever attempted that.
Okay, but let's
they came up with the budget. They don't have...
Sorry, sir, let's not also forget the fact that if we're speaking about the not too young to run bill, this was also a 10-year journey. It wasn't something that necessarily happened overnight, and there were also certain clauses removed from the bill, especially clauses to do with nomination fees of parties that, of course, discriminate against young people. But another bill that was of concern to a lot of people, of course, was the Disability Act, or the prohibition, rather, for the, the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Act that, of course, was created in 2009, proposed in 2011, rejected, 2015 again, and then when it was amended by this current 8th National Assembly in 2016, it took them until 2018, December 2018, to propose this bill to President Muhammadu Buhari. So how effective would you say the National Assembly has been in terms of the way they've gone about the bills? Because it's one thing for us to look at the amount of bills that are passed. Let's not forget that 40 of those bills were passed in the last 6 weeks. But it's another thing for us to look into the effectiveness of how those bills were passed.
The effectiveness of when the parliament has passed its own bill, the effectiveness, they don't execute bills, they don't execute acts. You understand me now? The executive works on execute whatever. If like they have passed the not too young to run bill, they don't have anything to do about it again once it's passed. Except if people are if like issues you have generated, people can now come back to them. As a public petition, they cannot petition. So thing is happening. So thing is happening. So thing is happening. They don't have anything to do with it. They are not going to be the INEC. They are not going to be the political party. They are not parties. They are not going to be the executives. You understand? So once they've passed their own bill, their work is done.
So,
except if I'm not getting you very well.
Credit needs to be given, I believe they deserve the credits, for the 1% budgetary allocation towards primary health care in Nigeria, which was the brainchild of this 8th National Assembly.
Yes.
Credit might be given, or should it be withheld, for the fact that the 8th National Assembly decided to be more open about the budgetary process, their internal budgetary process. But even within that, they're still shrouded in some secrecy. Why did we not get a line-by-line, line-item budget? Why is it so vague?
See, my sister, if something has not been done, society is dynamic, and so whatever the component of society, you understand me? The parliament, the 8th Assembly is a component of the society, and once society is dynamic, they are also dynamic. Maybe as the 9th Assembly is coming, maybe they cannot go higher to the level of doing it line by line. You can break it down to line item. It has never been like this before, but we are seeing the budget of National Assembly being tabled now. We know what is there. It has never been, they started the, what is it called, the openness program. Now we now know how much is going to National Assembly, how much is going to some component of National Assembly, but not all the line items. You understand me? But they have tried. Other assembly can build on whatever they have done. Don't forget, when the 7th Assembly was leaving, they left some bills. You understand me? It has never, since we came back in 1999, no assembly has kind of, when you adopt the old bills that are on the table of your previous assembly and you work on them. But this assembly came in, and one of their legislative agenda is to adopt the bills left behind by the 7th Assembly, and before they now started doing, because they now started adding their own. You understand me now? So it's a plus for them. It's a plus for them.
Well, Akinloye, I asked you earlier on about the executive arm of government. You commented extensively on the legislature, but I would still like to have your comment on the behavior of the executive. But what would you like to see in the 9th National Assembly? And what's your take on the politics over the leadership of the proposed 9th National Assembly? All the jostling, all the horse trading. I'm sure you must have been following that.
Yes. Let me start from the rating of the executive. I'll be very brief with you. When you are doing a research, you have a population, you have to do sample. When you do sampling, if I should give my personal opinion, it might not be rhyming with the opinions of the general populace, but with what we have been hearing from people, with what samples we have gathered, and with our own personal experience, I won't say the executive have really performed very well at all. Look at the security. When they came on board, we were merely dealing with the issue of terrorism. Now we have terrorism, we have banditry, we have kidnapping. You can't travel. You can't even move. You can't travel. You can't enter road. The only safe way to travel now is through the air. You can't go anywhere. Today you hear this person has been kidnapped, this person has been kidnapped, this person has been kidnapped, this person has been kidnapped. And some of their programs are, I don't know. I don't know who are the advisors of the government. I don't know. Some of their programs are not just too okay, like this money they are sharing. Why share? We went into recession. Oh, we went into recession. The government, in time, did not even put in place a cabinet. The same lane we told. In 2015, we are on the same lane now. The government has come in place. The president won his re-election in March. Since March, he has been sworn in since May 29. Till today, we don't have SGF. We only have the government of a president and vice president. No single personal assistant has been reappointed. No single special advisor's name has been sent to National Assembly for approval. No SGF. We don't have chief of staff to the president. Is this how we want to be operating? I've seen some people trying to operate, but I think the particular section of the Constitution said the nation should not be administered if not in accordance to the Constitution. And we know what the Constitution said about the tenure of the president. He came in, he made the appointment. His first tenure has ceased. So all those appointments has gone with the first. But we see people doing press release, and it is unconstitutional. It is illegal. You see that people are trying to take over government illegally, unconstitutionally. So from those, a lot of issues like that we have not even seen in governance before coming out under this government, I don't think they have performed very well. I rate them very, very low. Very, very low. Now, we've covered the problems, sir. Let's speak about the solutions. Going into a new assembly, the 9th National Assembly. Firstly, what exactly needs to be done in order for us to improve the relationship between the executive and the legislative for the next 4 years so that we don't encounter the same problems that you're speaking of now? All of us have brain drain from it. The Executive and National Assembly, I'm a realist. The Executive and National Assembly can't have total, very cordial and smooth relationship. They can't. The ego is there. The ego is there. The executive they are overbearing. You want to be doing masters to the legislature, and the parliament the National Assembly will be there telling you, we are the one that will send you on errand. We will tell you to do this, build this bridge, buy this equipment, do this ICT, do this road, do this. When you are doing it, we are coming to come and supervise, because oversight is to oversee. They are the overseers when the executive is executing. The National Assembly will be there to oversee. That's where the oversight came from. We gave you 20,000 to buy this table. How much is this table you have bought? Is it up to 20,000? Is it more than 20,000? You understand me now? You can't just go and buy a table. Maybe 20,000 was appropriated and you bought table 100,000. How come about the 80,000 that's on it? You are front foul of the Constitution. Because Electoral Act is a law. But we are looking at it as a budget. It is a law that must be properly followed. And the Constitution said no money should be expended except according to how the National Assembly has approved it.
Mr. Oyeniyi, can you tell us in one sentence your assessment, yes, because we don't have enough time, unfortunately, of the constituency projects undertaken by the legislatures? How would you assess the 8th National Assembly in terms of their constituency projects?
That area of constituency project, honestly, it is not. That area is a bit not too good. Maybe because of the relationship between them and the executive. You know, this constituency project we are even talking about, they are not being executed by the parliament. All these projects are embedded in agencies, MDAs, budgets under them. So the contracts are even being given out by the ministries, by the departments, government departments, and government agencies. You understand me? So because we are having issue with the parliament, we will release social amount for them. We will not release social amount. We will release social amount. And that one has kind of bring low the output of in the area of constituency project.
Well, on that note,
I can't see reason. I can't see reason for constituency project when if the executive are up and doing in their own duty. I don't see what the parliament will be doing with the executive project. What are they doing with project?
On that note,
what are they doing with project?
On that note, Akinloye Oyeniyi, we want to thank you very much for coming to the morning show. We'll take a short break now on the morning show. When we return, we'll have Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni join us to review top stories in some of today's newspapers. Stay with us.